Thank you all for being here today. I want to talk to you about something that holds the power to transform your life, unlock your potential, and lead you into the destiny God has prepared for you. That something is discipline. Now, I know discipline isn't always a word we get excited about. It's not flashy, and it doesn't always feel good in the moment. But let me tell you, it is the key to unlocking the life you were meant to live. Discipline is the foundation of a fulfilled and meaningful life. It is the cornerstone upon which dreams are built, goals are achieved, and purpose is realized. Without discipline, even the most ambitious plans can falter, and the brightest potential can remain untapped. Discipline is what bridges the gap between where we are and where we desire to be. It is not merely about rules and restrictions. It is about unlocking the fullness of life by aligning our actions with our values, priorities, and purpose. When you think about discipline, it may seem challenging or even daunting. After all, it requires effort, commitment, and sometimes sacrifice. However, discipline is not about depriving yourself. It is about empowering yourself. It is the intentional choice to put aside fleeting distractions and focus on what truly matters. Discipline helps us prioritize long-term rewards over short-term comforts, allowing us to build a life that is rich with meaning and satisfaction. Consider the most successful and fulfilled individuals you know or have read about. Their achievements were not handed to them overnight. Behind every triumph is a story of discipline, of waking up early, staying late, and persevering when others gave up. Discipline is what enables us to consistently show up for our goals even when motivation wanes. It gives us the strength to say no to what doesn't serve us and yes to what moves us closer to our vision. Over time, these small, disciplined choices compound into remarkable outcomes. A fulfilled life is one where we live with intention and purpose. It is not about chasing after every desire or whim. Rather, it is about choosing what aligns with our deepest values. Discipline gives us the clarity to identify those values and the determination to live them out. Without discipline, we can easily find ourselves pulled in 100 different directions, distracted by things that don't truly matter. But when we cultivate discipline, we gain the ability to focus our energy on what is meaningful, creating a sense of fulfillment that no fleeting pleasure can provide. Discipline also has a profound impact on our relationships. It helps us to be consistent in showing love, kindness, and respect to those around us. It encourages us to listen more, speak thoughtfully, and act with integrity. Relationships flourish when we approach them with intentionality and care, and discipline equips us to do just that. It teaches us to invest time and energy into nurturing the connections that matter most, resulting in deeper bonds and more rewarding interactions. Moreover, discipline fosters personal growth. It challenges us to step out of our comfort zones and push past our limits. When we discipline ourselves to learn, grow, and develop, we unlock potential we didn't even know we had. This process of growth brings a sense of accomplishment and purpose, fueling a deeper appreciation for life. Discipline is what drives us to pursue our passions, develop our talents, and contribute to the world in meaningful ways. A meaningful life is also one that is rooted in health and well-being. Discipline plays a crucial role in maintaining both our physical and mental health. It helps us make choices that honor our bodies and minds, such as eating nutritious foods, exercising regularly, and getting enough rest. It also encourages us to set boundaries, practice mindfulness, and prioritize self-care. When we are disciplined in caring for ourselves, we have the energy and resilience to fully embrace the opportunities and challenges that life presents. Discipline is not always easy, and it often requires perseverance in the face of setbacks and temptations. There will be moments when giving up seems like the easier option, but it is in those moments that discipline becomes most powerful. It reminds us of our why, our reason for pursuing the life we envision, and gives us the strength to keep going. Each time we choose discipline, we build a habit of resilience and determination that becomes a part of who we are. Ultimately, discipline leads to freedom. It might seem paradoxical, but the more disciplined we are, the more freedom we experience. Discipline frees us from the chaos of living without direction. It liberates us from being controlled by impulses and distractions. It empowers us to take charge of our lives and create the future we desire. This freedom born from discipline is what enables us to live a life of true fulfillment and meaning. As we embrace discipline, we discover that it is not a burden, but a gift. It is the tool that allows us to align our actions with our purpose, to build relationships that matter, to grow into the best version of ourselves, and to live a life that is deeply rewarding. Discipline is the foundation upon which a fulfilled and meaningful life is built, and it is within our reach if we choose to cultivate it. Self-control leads to long-term success and inner peace. It is the ability to govern our impulses, emotions, and actions in a way that aligns with our goals and values. While self-control may not always be the easiest path, it is undoubtedly one of the most rewarding. It allows us to navigate life with purpose, clarity, and balance, guiding us toward outcomes that bring lasting satisfaction and a sense of inner calm. At its core, self-control is about mastery over our desires, thoughts, and reactions. Life presents countless distractions and temptations, each vying for our attention and energy. Without self-control, it is easy to succumb to short-term pleasures or impulsive decisions that lead us away from our desired path. However, when we practice self-control, we cultivate the discipline to pause, reflect, and make choices that align with our higher purpose. This ability to choose wisely is what lays the foundation for long-term success. Success, whether personal, professional, or spiritual, is rarely achieved overnight. It requires consistent effort, patience, and focus. Self-control enables us to stay committed to our goals even when the journey becomes challenging or when immediate gratification tempts us to stray. For instance, pursuing a career goal may require years of education, practice, and perseverance. Without self-control, it would be easy to give up when faced with setbacks or distractions. But with self-control, we develop the resilience to keep moving forward, step by step until success is within reach. Financial success also hinges on self-control. It involves making thoughtful decisions about how we spend, save, and invest our resources. The allure of instant gratification, purchasing items we don't need, or overspending on fleeting pleasures can derail financial stability. However, by exercising self-control, we can prioritize long-term financial goals, such as saving for the future, investing in education, or supporting our loved ones. This discipline creates a sense of security and opens doors to opportunities that might otherwise remain out of reach. In our personal relationships, self-control is equally vital. It empowers us to respond thoughtfully rather than react impulsively, fostering healthier and more meaningful connections. When we practice self-control, we are better equipped to listen with empathy, communicate effectively, and navigate conflicts with grace. It helps us to set boundaries that protect our well-being while also respecting the needs of others. Over time, these actions build trust and strengthen the bonds that matter most. Inner peace is another profound benefit of self-control. When we lack self-control, we often find ourselves caught in cycles of regret, frustration, and guilt. Impulsive actions can lead to outcomes that weigh heavily on our minds, disrupting our sense of peace. On the other hand, self-control allows us to live with integrity and intentionality, reducing the likelihood of decisions that lead to regret. By aligning our actions with our values, we create a sense of harmony between who we are and who we aspire to be. Self-control also plays a crucial role in managing stress and emotions. Life is full of challenges, and our ability to navigate them with a calm and steady mindset determines how we experience those moments. Without self-control, we may find ourselves reacting emotionally to difficult situations, escalating stress and conflict. However, by cultivating self-control, we can approach challenges with a clear and composed perspective. This not only helps us to resolve issues more effectively, but also preserves our inner peace. Moreover, self-control is a key ingredient in personal growth. It pushes us to confront our weaknesses, step out of our comfort zones, and pursue our full potential. Whether it's developing a new skill, breaking a bad habit, or adopting a healthier lifestyle, self-control is what drives us to take consistent action toward improvement. It teaches us the value of delayed gratification and the rewards that come from perseverance. Over time, these efforts lead to a sense of accomplishment and confidence that fuels further growth. Self-control is not about suppressing our desires or living a rigid, joyless life. On the contrary, it is about channeling our energy and focus toward what truly matters. It is about saying no to the things that distract us from our goals so that we can say yes to the opportunities that enrich our lives. It is about finding balance, enjoying the present moment while keeping an eye on the bigger picture. As we practice self-control, we discover that it is not a burden, but a gift. It frees us from the chaos of impulsive decisions and the weight of unnecessary stress. It empowers us to build a life that reflects our deepest values and aspirations. With self-control, we gain the clarity to see what is truly important, the strength to pursue it, and the peace that comes from knowing we are living with intention. In this way, self-control becomes the key to both long-term success and inner tranquility, guiding us toward a life of fulfillment and purpose. God has equipped us with the strength to overcome distractions. This is a truth that resonates deeply, offering both encouragement and empowerment. In a world filled with endless noise and countless competing priorities, it can sometimes feel overwhelming to stay focused on the path that God has laid before us. But we are not left to face these challenges on our own. God, in His infinite wisdom and love, has provided us with the tools and inner strength to rise above distractions and remain steadfast in our purpose. Distractions come in many forms. They may appear as fleeting pleasures, unnecessary worries, or the pressures of daily life. Some distractions are subtle, creeping in slowly and diverting our attention before we even realize it. Others are, moreover, demanding immediate attention and tempting us to stray from our values and goals. Yet, no matter how distractions manifest, God has given us the power to recognize them for what they are and to resist their pull. Scripture reminds us time and again of the strength we possess through him. In 2 Timothy 1:7 it says, "For God has not given us a spirit of fear, but of power, love, and self-discipline." This verse highlights the incredible gifts that God has placed within us: power to face challenges, love to guide our actions, and self-discipline to stay focused on what truly matters. These gifts are not given sparingly or selectively. They are available to all who trust in him. They are part of the divine design that enables us to live with intention and purpose. One of the greatest blessings God provides is the ability to discern what is essential. When we seek him in prayer and immerse ourselves in his word, he grants us clarity about our priorities. He helps us see which opportunities align with his plan for our lives and which are merely distractions in disguise. This discernment is crucial in a world where so much vies for our attention. It allows us to say no to what is unnecessary and say yes to the things that bring us closer to him and his purpose for us. In addition to discernment, God equips us with strength and perseverance. Overcoming distractions often requires us to make difficult choices and stick to them, even when it's not convenient or popular. This strength does not come from our own abilities alone. It comes from God working within us. Philippians 4:13 reminds us, "I can do all things through Christ who strengthens me." When we rely on his strength, we find that we are capable of far more than we imagined. We can resist temptations, break free from unhealthy habits, and remain steadfast in the face of adversity. God also places resources and support systems in our lives to help us overcome distractions. Sometimes he sends people, mentors, friends, or family members who encourage us, hold us accountable, and remind us of our goals. Other times he provides opportunities for growth, such as a new job, a challenging project, or a season of reflection. Even the trials we face can be used by God to strengthen our focus and deepen our trust in him. Every experience, whether joyful or difficult, can be a stepping stone that brings us closer to him if we approach it with faith and intentionality. Another vital aspect of overcoming distractions is the role of the Holy Spirit. The Spirit dwells within us, guiding our thoughts, shaping our desires, and reminding us of God's truth. When we are faced with distractions, the Holy Spirit gently nudges us back toward the path God has set for us. He brings to mind scriptures, whispers words of encouragement, and provides the peace we need to remain focused. This divine guidance is a constant source of comfort and strength, reassuring us that we are never alone in our journey. It's important to remember that overcoming distractions is not about achieving perfection. We are human, and there will be moments when we falter. But even in those moments, God's grace abounds. He is patient and forgiving, always ready to help us refocus and continue moving forward. Our missteps do not define us. What matters is our willingness to seek him and trust in his strength. As we embrace the strength God has given us, we begin to see distractions not as insurmountable obstacles, but as opportunities to grow closer to him. Each time we overcome a distraction, we affirm our commitment to his purpose and deepen our reliance on his power. This process transforms us, molding us into individuals who are not easily swayed by the noise of the world, but who stand firm in faith and focus. God's strength within us is a gift, one that enables us to rise above distractions and live with intention. It allows us to align our actions with his will, pursue our purpose with confidence, and experience the peace that comes from staying true to his plan. Through him, we have everything we need to navigate life's challenges and fulfill the calling he has placed on our hearts. Small, consistent choices create powerful, lasting results. This truth speaks to the immense power of steady, intentional action over time. While we often admire grand achievements or transformative success stories, the reality is that these outcomes are almost always the result of small, daily decisions that compound over time. The beauty of this principle lies in its accessibility. Anyone, regardless of their starting point, can achieve extraordinary results by focusing on the small, consistent choices that lead toward their goals. At first glance, small choices might seem insignificant. Choosing to wake up 30 minutes earlier to read one chapter of a book each day, or to take a short walk after dinner may not feel like transformative actions. Yet these decisions are the seeds from which great things grow. When repeated consistently, they build momentum and create habits that shape our lives. Just as a tiny stream of water can carve a path through solid rock over time, our small choices have the potential to shape the course of our lives. The principle of compounding is at the heart of why small choices matter so much. Each action we take builds upon the one before it, creating a ripple effect that amplifies over time. For example, committing to saving just a small amount of money each week may not feel significant in the short term. However, over the course of months and years, those small savings accumulate into a substantial sum. Similarly, making the choice to exercise for 15 minutes a day may not result in immediate visible changes, but over time it leads to improved health, increased energy, and a greater sense of well-being. One of the most encouraging aspects of this truth is that it doesn't require perfection. The power lies not in getting everything right all the time, but in the consistency of effort. Even if we stumble or make mistakes along the way, returning to those small, intentional choices allows us to stay on track. The cumulative effect of consistent effort outweighs occasional missteps, and over time it propels us forward. Small choices also help us build discipline and confidence. Each time we make a decision that aligns with our goals, we strengthen our belief in our ability to succeed. These small victories remind us that progress is possible and motivate us to keep going. As our confidence grows, we become more willing to take on challenges and push ourselves beyond what we thought was possible. This cycle of effort, achievement, and growth creates a foundation for lasting success. In addition to their impact on our goals, small, consistent choices influence our character and mindset. The act of choosing to be kind, to listen, or to offer a word of encouragement shapes us into people of integrity and compassion. Over time, these small acts of goodness ripple outward, positively affecting our relationships and communities. Similarly, consistently choosing gratitude, even in difficult circumstances, fosters a mindset of abundance and resilience. These internal transformations are as significant as any external achievement, if not more so. Small choices also have a way of simplifying the journey toward big goals. Breaking down a daunting task into manageable steps makes it less overwhelming and more achievable. Instead of focusing on the entirety of the goal, we focus on what we can do today in this moment. This approach not only reduces stress, but also ensures that we are continuously moving forward, however small the steps may seem. Moreover, small, consistent choices are sustainable. Dramatic changes or drastic measures may yield quick results, but they are often difficult to maintain. In contrast, incremental progress allows us to build habits that become a natural part of our lives. These habits are the foundation of long-term success, providing stability and structure as we navigate life's challenges. It's important to recognize that small choices are not always easy. They often require us to prioritize long-term benefits over immediate gratification. It may be tempting to skip a workout, spend impulsively, or procrastinate on an important task. However, each time we choose to act in alignment with our goals, we reinforce the habit of discipline and strengthen our resolve. These moments of choice are opportunities to reaffirm our commitment to the future we are building. Discipline is not about deprivation, it's about liberation. This simple yet profound truth redefines how we view discipline. Too often, the concept of discipline is associated with restriction, sacrifice, or even punishment. But true discipline is not a chain that binds us, it's a key that unlocks freedom. It empowers us to break free from habits, distractions, and impulses that hold us back, enabling us to live a life of purpose, fulfillment, and joy. Discipline liberates us by helping us align our actions with our values and goals. Without discipline, we can easily become slaves to fleeting desires or temporary comforts. We might find ourselves saying yes to things that don't serve us, simply because they offer momentary pleasure or seem easier in the moment. But these decisions often lead to regret, frustration, or stagnation. Discipline, on the other hand, allows us to take control of our lives. It gives us the clarity to focus on what truly matters and the strength to pursue it, even when the road is challenging. The freedom that discipline provides is not merely external, it is deeply internal. It liberates us from the chaos of indecision and the guilt of unfulfilled potential. When we are disciplined, we experience a sense of order and purpose that brings peace to our minds and hearts. For example, the discipline of managing our time wisely frees us from the stress of missed deadlines or unaccomplished goals. The discipline of healthy living liberates us from the physical and emotional toll of poor choices. In every area of life, discipline creates a structure that supports our well-being and helps us thrive. Discipline also liberates us by teaching us the value of delayed gratification. In a world that often emphasizes instant results, the ability to wait and work for something worthwhile is a powerful skill. It allows us to focus on long-term rewards rather than being distracted by short-term pleasures. Whether it's saving money for a future goal, investing time in learning a new skill, or building strong relationships, the discipline of patience and persistence leads to outcomes that are far more satisfying and enduring than any quick fix. Another way discipline sets us free is by helping us establish healthy boundaries. Without discipline, it's easy to overcommit, overindulge, or overlook our own needs. But when we cultivate discipline, we learn to say no to what doesn't align with our priorities and yes to what does. This creates a balance that allows us to give our best to the things that truly matter. By setting boundaries, we protect our time, energy, and resources, enabling us to live with intention rather than being pulled in every direction. Far from being a form of deprivation, discipline also enhances our sense of joy and fulfillment. When we are disciplined, we make room for what brings us true happiness. For example, the discipline of regular exercise might initially seem like a sacrifice of comfort, but over time it leads to increased energy, better health, and a greater sense of vitality. Similarly, the discipline of financial planning might mean forgoing unnecessary expenses in the short term, but it paves the way for security and the ability to pursue meaningful opportunities in the future. Discipline is not about denying ourselves. It's about choosing what will bring us lasting fulfillment over what offers only temporary satisfaction. Moreover, discipline frees us to grow into the best versions of ourselves. It challenges us to step outside of our comfort zones and push past our limitations. Each disciplined choice we make strengthens our character, builds our confidence, and expands our potential. Over time, these choices shape our identity, helping us become people who are capable, resilient, and purposeful. Discipline transforms us from being reactive to being proactive, from being stuck to moving forward. The journey of self-discipline opens the door to God's greater plans for us. It is a path of intentionality, patience, and trust, where each step forward draws us closer to the life He envisions for us. Self-discipline is not merely a practice of self-control or restriction. It is an act of faith, a way of surrendering our lives to His divine guidance and purpose. It shapes us, molds us, and prepares us to step into the fullness of what God has planned. God has placed dreams and purposes within each of us, but realizing them often requires growth and refinement. Self-discipline is the tool He uses to prepare us for those greater blessings. It helps us develop the habits, character, and resilience needed to carry out His will. Without discipline, we might miss the opportunities He has set before us or fail to steward them well. Discipline ensures that we are ready when the time comes, equipping us to handle the responsibilities and blessings He entrusts to us. This journey is not always easy. Self-discipline requires us to make choices that may feel uncomfortable or inconvenient in the moment. It might mean turning away from distractions, resisting temptations, or persevering through challenges. However, these sacrifices are not in vain. Each disciplined decision we make aligns us more closely with God's will and strengthens our faith in His plans. The temporary discomfort is far outweighed by the lasting joy and fulfillment that come from walking in His purpose. One of the most powerful aspects of self-discipline is its ability to transform us from the inside out. As we practice discipline, we learn to let go of selfish desires and place our focus on what truly matters. This shift in perspective allows us to see life through God's eyes, recognizing the opportunities He provides and the lessons He teaches. Discipline fosters humility, gratitude, and a spirit of obedience, all of which are essential for living a life that honors Him. Through self-discipline, we also come to understand the importance of trust. There will be times when the journey feels long and the results of our efforts are not immediately visible. In those moments, discipline becomes an act of faith. It is a way of saying, Lord, I trust Your timing and Your plan. I will continue to do the work You've called me to, even when I don't see the full picture. This kind of faith pleases God and allows Him to work in ways that exceed our understanding. God's greater plans for us often require us to grow in ways we cannot foresee. Self-discipline is a refining process that prepares us for those plans, even when we don't realize it. For example, the discipline of prayer and studying His Word deepens our relationship with Him, giving us the wisdom and strength to navigate life's challenges. The discipline of serving others teaches us humility and compassion, qualities that reflect His love. In every area of life, discipline builds a foundation that supports the greater things He has in store. The journey of self-discipline also teaches us to rely on God's strength rather than our own. We are human, and there will be times when our resolve falters or when the weight of our responsibilities feels too heavy. In those moments, we are reminded that discipline is not something we accomplish on our own. It is through His strength, His grace, and His guidance that we are able to persevere. Philippians 4:13 says, I can do all things through Christ who strengthens me. This promise reassures us that we are never alone in our journey and that His power is made perfect in our weakness. As we grow in self-discipline, we begin to see the fruit of our efforts. Opportunities that once seemed out of reach become attainable. Relationships flourish as we learn to communicate and love with intention. Our faith deepens as we experience the rewards of obedience and trust. Most importantly, we become more aligned with God's purpose for our lives. We step into a life of meaning, impact, and joy, a life that reflects His glory.